When it comes to feeding a baby, every parent carries the same quiet responsibility. You are not just feeding hunger, you are shaping health. You are protecting a body that cannot yet protect itself. That's why today I want to talk about white millet and red millet. Not just why they are good for babies, but how you can safely prepare them at home, step by step, in a way that avoids chemicals, avoids unnecessary risks, and gives you full confidence in what your child is eating. Millet is not a new idea. It is one of humanity's oldest foods. Long before factories, preservatives, tins, jars, and supply chains, parents used millet to nourish infants because it was gentle, reliable, and easy to digest. White millet is especially suited for babies starting solid foods. It is light, mild in flavor, and softens beautifully when cooked. Red millet is richer, with more iron and protective nutrients, making it ideal as babies grow and their nutritional needs increase. The process of making millet baby food at home is simple, but every step matters. Not because it's complicated, but because it respects the food and the child. It begins with choosing clean, whole white millet or red millet grains from a trusted source. Not pre-flavored, not pre-mixed, just plain, natural grain. The first thing you do is clean the millet thoroughly. You pour the grains into a bowl and rinse them several times in clean water. This removes dust, sand, and any surface impurities picked up during harvesting or transport. This step alone already reduces contamination risks that can exist in poorly handled commercial products. Once the millet is clean, the next step is soaking. Soaking is crucial, especially for baby food. You cover the millet with clean water and allow it to soak for several hours, often overnight. This softens the grain and reduces natural compounds that can interfere with mineral absorption. It also makes the millet much easier for a baby's digestive system to handle. After soaking, the water is discarded. This is important. You are removing what the grain has released into the water, not locking it into the food. At this point, you have two safe preparation options depending on how you prefer to store and cook the food. Some parents choose to dry the soaked millet completely and grind it into a fine flour. This flour can be stored in a clean, airtight container and cooked fresh whenever needed. Because the millet has been soaked and dried properly, it cooks faster and more evenly than raw flour, and it carries far less digestive strain. Other parents prefer to cook the millet immediately. If cooking directly, the soaked millet is placed into a clean pot with fresh water. The water-to-millet ratio is generous because baby food should never be thick or heavy. The mixture is cooked slowly on low heat, not rushed. As it cooks, the millet breaks down naturally, releasing starches that form a smooth porridge. Patience matters here. High heat can scorch food and damage nutrients. Slow cooking allows the millet to soften completely, eliminating hard particles that could irritate a baby's throat or stomach. Once fully cooked, the millet is blended or mashed until smooth. For very young babies, the texture should be almost liquid, similar to breast milk or formula consistency. As the baby grows, the texture can gradually become thicker. Nothing else needs to be added. No sugar, no salt, no flavoring, no artificial enhancers, just millet and water. This simplicity is one of the biggest advantages over processed baby foods. Commercial baby foods often contain stabilizers to maintain texture, preservatives to extend shelf life, and added vitamins to replace nutrients lost during industrial processing. Even when ingredients appear minimal, the food may have been exposed to high heat, long storage periods, and multiple handling stages. Each stage introduces potential risk. With homemade millet baby food, the food moves from grain to pot to child, often within hours. There is no long storage window for bacteria to grow. There is no dependency on packaging integrity. There is no hidden chemistry. Freshly cooked millet is one of the safest foods you can give a baby. Food poisoning risks are significantly reduced because bacteria thrive in stored, moist environments over time. When food is prepared fresh, served warm, and consumed promptly, those risks are dramatically minimized. This matters because babies have immature immune systems. What an adult stomach can tolerate, a baby's cannot. Millet also offers digestive predictability. When babies experience discomfort from food, parents are often left guessing which ingredient caused it. Commercial foods often contain multiple blended ingredients, making it difficult to identify triggers. Millet on its own allows clarity. White millet can be introduced first because it is gentler. Red millet can be introduced later for added iron and strength. Each grain can be tested individually, and parents can observe how the baby responds without confusion. Another often overlooked benefit is taste development. Babies fed highly processed foods with added sweetness may develop an early preference for artificial flavors. Millet introduces babies to natural, subtle taste, encouraging healthier eating habits later in life. From a nutritional standpoint, millet provides slow-release energy, supporting steady growth without sugar spikes. It nourishes the gut, supports blood development, and contributes to overall resilience. And from a safety standpoint, it offers something priceless: certainty. You know when it was made. You know how it was handled. You know exactly what is in it. This does not mean processed baby foods are always harmful. Many families rely on them. But understanding how to prepare white millet and red millet at home gives parents choice. And choice is empowerment. In a world full of labels, claims, and marketing promises, sometimes the safest decision is the simplest one. A grain, clean water, time, care. White millet and red millet have nourished generations of children long before modern branding existed. Prepared properly, they remain one of the most natural, chemical-free, and reliable ways to support a baby's early development, while reducing unnecessary food poisoning risks linked to long storage and industrial processing. Sometimes progress doesn't mean moving forward. Sometimes it means remembering what already worked.